Once the news spread about Rudius conquering the labyrinth, the entire city was celebrating his achievements. The merchant there were gonna spread the story far and wide. Rudius also managed to tell the story about him conquering the labyrinth at the Adventure Guild, of course lying about some things. When people asked him what sword rank he told them he was Emperor rank in all three. This caused another uproar about his greatness, and the fact that he could silently cast magic without incantations made him an icon. He also used hero hockey on the people to make him more believable. After telling his tale, he also told the people to spread the story about his greatness. Once he got to the inn, he was greeted by everyone. Alice hugged and kissed him. Once he got to his room and locked the door. Rudius. This is so exhausting. Seal. Viewful Master was so cool and dignified in front of the crowd. Rudius. No joke, Seal. How is Zenith? Seal. She is fine. The cure was far too low level for me to struggle with it. It was boring, she was just sleeping, that's all. I also healed her body to be in top condition. Rudius. Thanks, Seal. Place her on the bed. He took a seat out of his imaginary space and sit next to the bed. Seal put Zenith on the bed. Rudius. Thanks, Seal. Also give me a map with the locations of the teleport circles so I can go to the Holy Kingdom faster to meet my father, Lilia, and my siblings. Seal handed him the map. Rudius. Once I get them, I'll bring them to the Magic Kingdom, so get everything ready. Seal disappeared. So Rudius sat the entire night on the chair waiting for Zenith to wake up because he thought that's what a son would do. Finally, the next day around 5 in the morning, Zenith woke up. Confused as hell, she remembered the hell she went through in that labyrinth and began to cry. Zenith Pav. I'm free, I'm finally free. The tears started to run down my face without ending. My memory came back. I'm finally out of that hell. Someone save me. I looked around the room still crying. It's still dark, but the candle has lit it well. While looking around, I saw a man sitting on a chair. Well, it looked more like he was sleeping. I recognized the man, he's the one who saved me. He finally lifts his head. His face is covered. He has a mask and dark glasses covering his face. I can see his hair color at least. It's the same as my husband Paul's. He sees I'm awake. All of a sudden, before I could react, he was too fast. I was on my back in the bed, and this person was hugging me. I knew you'd be fine, I was so worried. He kept hugging me. I tried to push him away. I'm glad he saved me, but his face is in my breast. He's a little shorter than me, it's understandable, but still, I have a husband. I'm trying to push him away but is so strong. I finally spoke. Zenith. Can you let me breathe, mister? He let me go. Of course. He backed up. Zenith. You're the one who saved me, correct? Yes. Zenith. I see. Thank you. My name is Zenith Garrett, and I'm sure I'll be able to pay you the money to save me. I said that straight before he demanded my body. Why would you pay me? He tilts his head, he seems confused. Zenith. For saving me, of course. You seem to be misunderstanding me, Mom. Zenith. Mom? I asked, surprised. He seems to ponder something. I'm an idiot. He's talking off his mask and glasses. I'm shocked, he looked like Paul. He looks at me and smiles. Hey, Mother. That's when it clicked. Zenith. Rudy. Rudius. Hey, Mom, I missed you. I immediately ran and hugged my baby boy. Tears ran down my face again. We just stood there for some time hugging. Finally, we begin to talk. He tells me about his journey from the Demon Continent, the Great Forests, meeting Paul and Norn, and saving Aisha and Lilia. Escorting Eris home and coming to save me. My baby boy is all grown up and I wasn't there for him. He saves everyone, even me. We just kept talking. He finally told me that he conquered the labyrinth alone. I was so surprised at how strong is my boy. He even told me about his friend Suppered. I was so surprised. It's finally day outside. Rudy is washing the top half of his body when suddenly we hear a knock. Knock, knock, knock. I went to open the door. I see a girl around Rudy's age. Zenith. Hello, can I help you? She started to cry. She looked past me and saw Rudy shirtless. Alice. How could you sleep with another woman after I told you I love you? She began to cry even more and ran off. I just stood there froze. Don't tell me Rudy turned out like his father. I looked at him. Rudius. Don't worry about that, we'll be leaving anyway, it's better this way. I don't believe my son is a womanizer. I spent the entire time scolding Rudy. Rudius. But Zenith. Zenith. Oh, the pain, you used to call me mother, but now it's Zenith. Oh, the pain. I'm so hurt. Rudy just laughed. Rudius. You're a weirdo, Zenith. I pout. Zenith. Don't call me that, you womanizing jerk. Rudy just laughed and told me he only loves 3 women that he's gonna marry. I'm so shocked. I immediately hit him on his chest. Rudius. Don't get mad at me, I'm gonna marry Eris, Roxy, and Selfie. I just glare at him. That's when he dropped a bombshell. Rudius. My wife Seal won't have a problem with it, she understands. Zenith. You're what? And Pav. Zenith was praying. Zenith. Oh Lord, please forgive my son. Rudius. Haha, you're being dramatic, Zenith. Zenith. Stop calling me that, call me mom, you jerk. Rudius. You just said you didn't want a son who is a womanizer. Zenith glared at him. Zenith. HMFP. Rudius. Let's just go, we have to travel to another continent. Zenith. Pav. We finally hit the road. I haven't traveled in years, I forgot how hard it is. So the entire time we're traveling I noticed Rudy covered his face again. Zenith. Rudy, why do you hide your handsome face, my boy? Rudius. Because I don't want to cause problems for myself by being recognized by people, also I just like wearing a mask. Zenith. I see. Also, why don't you fight with magic, huh? Rudius. Because it's too easy, I do this to push myself. Zenith. So what sword rank are you? I asked excitedly. Rudius. I'm an emperor rank in all 3 schools. I froze immediately. Zenith. What? Rudius. Yeah. Zenith. That's amazing, Rudy, no wonder the monsters are not a match for you. I said, proud of my son. Not only is he great at magic, but also with the sword. We kept traveling, but I realized that we have gotten off the road a long time ago. Zenith. Rudy, where are we going? He stopped and pointed to a mountain range. Rudius. There's a magic circle that will take us to the Great Forest, then we'll go from the forest to the Holy Kingdom and meet the others. No way, a teleport circle, but that's banned. Zenith. Are you sure that's banned? Before I could finish. Rudius. Don't worry, Zenith. You'll be fine. I paused and threw my water at him. Zenith. It's mom, HMFP. I pout again. He just continued to laugh. I missed this feeling. I can't wait to see the rest of my family. The next day we made it to the teleport circle. It was covered up. We used it and appeared in the Great Forest. Rudius. Alright, it will take us a week to get to the Holy Kingdom, but for now you should rest, Zenith. Zenith. Rudy, I always rest, you should sleep first. I'll keep watch. He just took his mask and glasses off and smiled at me. Rudius. Hehe, you don't have to worry. I don't get tired anymore. I don't even need to sleep. He just smiled at me. I looked worried. Zenith. What do you mean by that? I looked at his eyes. This is the first time I've gotten a good look at them, they are golden. It feels like he can see through anything. Zenith. Rudy, what's with your eyes, they used to be green? I asked worriedly. He just smiled. Rudius. Well, there is a result of my demon eyes that I got from my friend, that's all. I was surprised. Zenith. Demon eye like Sword King Gishlane. Rudius. That's correct, now go to sleep. He just smiled. I finally closed my eyes and slept. Me and Rudy have been traveling for a few days now, and the Holy Kingdom is finally within our sights. I can feel the relief building up in my heart, I can't wait to see them. We continue forward. To my surprise, Rudy is extremely famous. I was so shocked when I found out, no wonder he hides his face, but I gotta say my son has some cool names. One is Rudius of Quagmire, and the other is the Winter Soldier. I asked Rudy how he got these names, he just said it's because of a few spells he used. One was Quagmire, and the other was Frost Nova, which covered an entire town. Ever since then they kept saying winter is coming wherever I go. That's how he got the name the Winter Soldier. We finally made it towards the city. We went to the Adventure Guild, and I found out Rudy is an S-rank adventurer without a party. I just kept on getting shocked by my son. We got to an inn, well, search for Paul tomorrow. As I was sleeping, I noticed Rudy left. I was furious. How can he just leave without telling me? He dares sneak out. I leave for some time and my son is a troublemaker, I swear. The next day I asked Rudy where he went, but he didn't tell me. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to see a woman, HMFP, just like his father. And Pav. Inside the Holy Kingdom, a little girl was just helped by a man with a bald head and a face scar. Of course, it was Norn being helped by Rudyard. The two of them were talking inside a dinner. Norn was telling him that she was lost. Finally, a girl with blue hair walked into the dinner, but this was no girl, this was Roxy, a demon. She and Lilia were looking for Norn. Roxy saw Norn and the man and immediately got her staff ready because she recognized the man as support. She saw him on the demon continent, but before she could attack, Lilia called out to them. Lilia, Mr. Rudyard and Lady Norn. This causes Roxy to stop her spell. They finally begin to talk. Roxy is still scared of his support. Rudyard. Hello, I'm Rudyard Suppard. Roxy was shaking. Roxy. Hi, I'm Roxy Migard, nice to meet you. They finally went to Paul's place. He was happy to see Norn again, hugging her. He recognized Rudyard. Paul. It seems I owe you again, Rudyard, for helping one of my kids. Paul put out his hand. They shook hands. Rudyard. There's no need, Paul. Paul. So how was Rudy? Did they make it back there? Rudyard. Yes, they did. Paul. You wouldn't happen to have any idea where Rudy is now because I can't get his location. Rudyard. I also have no idea, that boy moves like the wind. Paul just laughed. Talhin. It seems your boy doesn't want to be found. Ellen lies. Maybe your boy is out there enjoying himself. She had a perverted grin. Roxy. Rudy isn't like that. That's when the door opened, revealing two figures. Rudius. I'm not like what? The entire room was quiet. Finally. Paul. Zenith. He ran over towards her, immediately hugging her. Norn. Mom. She ran to Zenith too. They were all just happy about the reunion. But Rudyard and Roxy were looking at the masked man. He was just standing there with his arms crossed. Zenith, Paul, and Norn were crying. Zenith. I'm so glad you're all okay. Paul. So are we, my love. Norn. Mom, I missed you so much. They kept crying. The man with the mask walked over to Roxy and stood in front of her. Roxy was a little taken aback by this. Roxy. Can I help? Before she could finish, she was being hugged by the man. This surprised her. He let her go. Hey, master. Roxy. Rudy. She hugged him and cried. When she said his name, caused everyone to look at him. Lilia had a smile. Lilia. Welcome back, Lady Zenith and Master Rudius. Aisha ran towards Rudius and hugged him. After the touching reunion, Rudius walks over towards Rudyard. Rudius. Hey, Rudyard. Rudyard just smiled. Rudyard. So you got your mom back home. I knew you could do it. They shook hands. Rudius. Yeah, it's a long story, my friend. Ellen lies. So that's Paul's son. I gotta say he's in great shape. Talhin. Keep your hands to yourself, woman. After some time, Rudius looked at everyone. Rudius. I'll come back later, I still have some business to attend. They all looked confused. Paul. Rudy, can't it wait, we just got together. Zenith. Your father is right, Rudy, we just got here. Rudius. Don't worry, I'll be back tonight. Rudyard. Want me to go with you? Rudius. No need. I can handle anything on my own. He just left. Zenith. Honestly, that boy, doesn't he ever rest? Norn. So mom, how did you get back? Everyone wanted to know. So Zenith spent the entire night telling them her story, from being teleported to the labyrinth, from being stuck in there to Rudy saving her. Paul just had a proud grin on his face. Paul. That's expected of Rudy. Aisha. Big brother is so cool. Norn just remained silent, feeling bad for treating Rudius all this time. Rudyard. I know Rudius was strong, but now I think he can even take on one of the world powers. When Rudyard said that, they all got silent. Roxy. Let's just hope it doesn't come to that. Ellen lies. But still, what a stallion. Your son is more of a man than you are, Paul. Talhin. He is capable. Ellen lies looked at Roxy teasingly. Ellen lies. Roxy, you don't mind if I attack your lover first, right? Roxy beamed up. Roxy. What are you talking about? They all just laughed. Zenith. That Rudy is a womanizer, you should be careful with him. This entire trip he made me so mad. Rudyard. What about Eris, was she with you? Zenith. No, it was only me and Rudy, he didn't even talk about anyone else, sorry. Rudyard. Oh, I see. Paul laughed. Paul. Don't worry, Rudyard, he probably did something dumb, and Eris left him, ha 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 ha. Zenith. That's not funny. Paul just hugged her. They kept talking late into the night. That's when the door opened. Rudius entered. But he was covered in blood from head to toe. When they saw him they panicked. Rudius, they all shouted. Rudius. Damn, what's with all the yelling? Lilia. Master Rudius, are you okay? Roxy. Rudy. Rudius. Don't worry, I'm fine, this is not my blood, so don't worry. I was just doing a job for the guild, that's all, so don't worry. Zenith. Don't scare me like that. Rudius begins to take off his bloody armor, showing off his well-built upper body, causing Roxy, Lilia and Ellenelise to blush. Ellenelise. Oh yeah, a little show for us. Take it all off. Rudius took off his sword, and after that he removed his glasses first, causing the others to be surprised by his glowing eyes. Even Rudyard was surprised. He knew Rudius's left eye glowed when he used it a bit, but not both, but now both his eyes were golden. Zenith. Every I see your eyes, I can't get used to them. Paul. You're all right, Rudy? Rudius. Yeah, it's just a result of my demon eyes, that's all. Rudyard. Eyes? Rudius looked at him. Rudius. Yeah, I got more than one now. Roxy. So you met the great demon empress again? Rudius. Yeah, and I asked for more, that's all. Aisha. So cool. Norn finally decided to strike up a conversation with her brother. Norn. More, how many do you have? This surprised some of them. They knew Norn and Rudius didn't have the best relationship. Rudius closed his eyes and lowered his head. He raised it again, and this time his eyes were bloodshot red, shocking them all, even Zenith. Rudyard. So what do the red eyes do? Rudius just continued to lie. Rudius. Help me see far and see better in the night. Paul grinned. Paul. Spy on the girls at night, that's my boy he. This causes Zenith to hit him, and Lilia steps on his foot. Paul. Ouch. Rudius. Tomorrow I have something to talk to you all about, but for now I'm gonna go clean up. Rudius took all his gear and left. Earlier when Rudius left the house, in the adventure guild, there was a monkey-faced demon talking and drinking. Rudius walked up behind him. Rudius. Newbie, how have you been? Gissy. Boss, what are you doing here? They hugged. Gissy. Man, look at you, you look so big. Rudius. I need your help, could you come with me? Gissy. Yeah, sure. They left into the forest. Gissy. So boss, where is this thing you're hunting? Rudius. In front of me. Gissy. Huh? Before he could react, Rudius cut his head off, causing blood to spray all over him. Gissy head falls to the ground. Rudius. I don't like having a sleeper in my game, I'd much rather get rid of them. Rudius burned the body into nothing and killed some wild animals on his way back home. That's why he was covered in blood. The next morning everyone was inside the living room because Rudius said he had something to discuss with them. The people inside were Paul, Zenith, Lilia, Roxy, Talhin, Rudyard, Ellenelise, Norn, Aisha, and Rudius. Paul. So Rudy, what do you want to discuss? Rudius. I have already set up a place for us to live in the Magic Kingdom. I've also created my enterprise for work, so I need to know if you are all going back with me there or not. He asked in a firm tone. Zenith. You mean you have taken care of everything for us to start over our life? Rudius. That's correct, so are you all going with me? Paul. Yeah, sure, that's not a problem. He felt a little down that his son took care of everything. Rudius. What about you all? Talhin. I have some business of my own, so I'll be parting with you all, sorry. Rudius. It's fine. Roxy. Are you sure I can come with you, Rudy? She asked. Rudius. Of course you can, you are one of my wives after all. This causes her to blush heavily. Ellenelise. What about me, huh? She pouted. Rudius just laughed. Rudius. I'm sorry, but I only have 4 wives, I can't expect any more, heh. Ellenelise. You bad boy. She gave him a seductive smile. Paul just smiled at his boy. Aisha. Big brother is a pervert. Rudius. Hey, I'm not. I just love 4 women, that's all. Paul. Sure you do, heh. Rudyard. I have something else I need to. Rudius. Don't worry, Rudyard, I've also found the other support tribe. Rudyard was shocked. Rudyard. But how? Rudius. I never stopped looking, my friend. Rudyard just felt happy to have such a great friend. Rudyard lowered his head. Rudyard. Thanks, Rudius. Rudius. No need to lower your head to me, my friend. So they all decided the ones that would travel to the Magic Kingdom were Paul, Zenith, Lilia, Roxy, Aisha, Norn, Ellenelise, and Rudius. Rudyard will travel with them as an escort. Once they get there, Rudius will take him to the other Supper tribe. Holy Land of the Sword. Outside the dojo under a tree was a beautiful woman with red hair swinging her sword. She was already covered in sweat, but she kept going. Finally, someone came over to her. Ghislaine. Hey Eris, you can take a break, there's something I need to tell you, and you also have a letter. The red-haired girl stopped. She looked at the beast woman. Eris. What is it, Ghislaine? Ghislaine walked forward. Ghislaine. I just came from the Adventure Guild and I heard a story. Eris. About what? The red-haired woman was getting impatient. Ghislaine. You know the story about the legendary teleported labyrinth, right? Eris. Yeah, who doesn't? Ghislaine. Seems like it was cleared by one person and one person alone. Eris already had sneaking expectations, but she still asked. Eris. And who did that? Ghislaine. Rudius Garrett, or as is more commonly known as Quagmire the Winter Soldier. Eris just had a grin on her face. Eris smiled. I see, Quagmire and the Winter Soldier, huh? Seems like he has some new names. What's the other thing? Ghislaine. It's a letter. Eris and Ghislaine could still read a little, just not as fluent as before. Eris took the letter and read it. Dear Eris. How have you been? I miss you every day, but I understand you have your own thing to do. I misunderstood your letter, it only took me about 1.5 years to understand what you meant, but still I was hurt you left, but it's fine now. Anyway, I've been fine, just missing you a lot. I found my mother and she's safe. By the time you get this letter, we'll probably be together with my father and the others. Now then for the serious conversation. Eris, I will marry 4 women. Their names are Seal, my selfie, my second wife, Roxy, my third wife, and then Seal, my 4 wives, and Eris. I don't know how you will react to this, but I hope to make you my first wife because I love you. I would also understand if you would hate me, and that you might feel betrayed, and I understand. For that, you can hit me as much as you want, preferably 3 times, but it's up to you. I've already told my wife about you and your place as the first, but that's only if you still accept me. Even if you don't accept me, I still hope we can be close because I love you. I'll be fighting the Dragon God in 5 years. Until then I'll be busy training. Let's talk after the 5 years are over. I'll contact you again when the time comes. Until then, goodbye and practice hard, my love. Rudius Garrett. Eris looked up in the air. Ghislaine. Are you alright, Eris? Eris just smiled. Eris. Yeah, I am. This is nothing new. I know Rudy is a pervert, but is my pervert, and until I see him again I'll just keep training to become stronger. Let's spar, Ghislaine. Ghislaine. I see, so you'll take your place as his first wife? Eris. Of course I will, but first I'll kick his ass for cheating on me. Ghislaine just smiled at her. The two of them continued their training. Eris was even more motivated to work harder. Ghislaine thought. Ghislaine. Still, there's one more crazy rumor out there. I still think it's unbelievable. There's no way Rudius is an emperor rank in all 3 schools of the sword. He had no talent for the sword god style. Let's just hope that's a rumor. Holy Kingdom. Rudius looked at Paul, Zenith, Lilia, Roxy, Aisha, Norn, Ellenelise, and Rudyard. Rudius. Alright, let us travel, and remember you can't tell anyone about the teleport circles, alright, or else it will cause problems for us.